Let me say first, I've been last year short guys. I know what it feels like. I wish A.J. Harris, obviously, all the health in the world. I kind of feel for those guys right now. Sometimes you can make kind of bigger, decisions about your team when really you're just a little short-handed right now. I went through it last year. We obviously missed several guys for the 2 games last year, and it's tough to go through. So I wish him and the New Mexico State basketball team all the health going forward they can get, and all the success as well. They're a great basketball team. Chris Jans is an amazing coach. They played their hearts out tonight, and we're very fortunate to get a win. It's a one-possession game. Those one-possession games can go either way, make you feel a lot better about yourself, sometimes a lot worse about yourself. We've lost a couple one-possession games to them these last couple years, so it's, I guess, evening it up a little bit, trying to get one on the other end. So we're happy to get a win, and thankful to head to Brooklyn now with at least a split on this road trip.
You started off kind of talking about obviously what they're going through. I don't know if that diminishes in any way the breaking of the streak, and I know the streak isn't something you like to talk about, but you have a fan base that knows exactly how much that streak was, and you finally did break it. Was the locker room any different? Was the pressure going into the game any different, and how do you feel that the streak is now over?
Yeah, nothing I ever talked about. We've always kind of just treated this game, the UTEP game, we treated that just like this game. Prepare for it. I would never probably inject myself into anything anyways. It's not really my personality. If the players felt something about me or something like that, that was up to them, but I've never asked them to do something for me or anything like that. It was really just about the game plan. I've got a great staff. We've got a great team that really bought into just what we're doing schematically on both ends of the floor. We spent a lot of time getting ready for UTEP. I thought we were right there, a one-possession game, and we put ourselves in a position to win again tonight.
You defensively, you said they're buying in schematically. Is that what you want defensively? They got 33 three-pointers up tonight, and obviously their percentage was low. You'll take that, but an awful lot of those had an awful lot of space, a lot of wide-open looks. I can't imagine that makes you all that comfortable that so many were just wide-open looks.
No, and we show them, so we'll show them again the next day. We always start with, how does teams get to the paint on us, and we start there, which tonight, obviously, we gave up a lot, especially in the first half. It's just easy paint touches for layups. They had a lot of points in the paint on us in the first half. And I thought in the second half, we made them shoot more and kind of got them out on the perimeter. And it's a legs game and it's a distance game. And obviously it's hurt us a little bit at times, but it's a numbers game that right now we're playing a little bit of. We'll go through all of those, how many were really contested and how many weren't. And obviously we want to get better at contesting them. We're far from a finished product. Our team has a long way to go in a lot of ways, like a lot of teams do right now. And I think I've said it after every game. I'm very encouraged about our team, our ceiling, and hopefully where we can kind of guide this ship.
Coach, you guys now have to play in a holiday tournament, but it feels like you kind of just did that here with 2 games here in the borderland. You had sort of a March feel to these 2 games, both very close games. Talk about the emotional, stretch this has been for your team and what it can do for them going forward.
Awesome. I told them even today before the game, I didn't even mention it, how proud I was of them to play at UTEP. We didn't have one person get into it with an official. We didn't have one person turn on anybody. We're in a very hostile environment. We were down multiple times and came back to get the lead with a minute to go. And our team had great chemistry, great resolve, great connectedness in a hostile environment in your 4th, 5th game of the season, which I thought was terrific. And then we did that again tonight. So regardless of the winning and the losing and which one we won or lost or whatever, our team passed a lot of tests, I felt, as far as being able to go in maybe 2 of the toughest environments we'll see this year, or at least 2 of the top 3 or 4, to do that this early with a lot of new guys, particularly ball handlers, a team that starts 5 seniors that's won a lot of games here. It's obviously a good testament to our guys.
Coach, you mentioned passing tests. Jaquan, Carlton, JJ, in the end of the game, on the floor at the end of the game, their first rivalry game with the Aggies, they got to actually be on the floor.
Yeah.
How did they handle these late game situations and just the whole game in general?
Well, offensively, obviously down the stretch, we weren't great, but the most encouraging part about it was all I've preached since the fall is this team's going to win with defense. How good I think we'll be a good offensive basketball team. We have the ability, the talent, and hopefully the patience to be good. But defensively is where we had to dig in. And I think down the stretch there to kind of turn the ball over and not get it inbounded properly and kind of fend off a feisty opponent that was trying to protect their court, with stop after stop after stop, I thought was just a great testament to our guys and the defensive attitude that I want to kind of instill in our team.
There was a stretch late in the game when you guys went to the 2-3 zone, and then you turned them over on 3 out of 4 possessions, give or take. Will we see more of that zone because of results like this? And how do you think your team can excel?
Yeah, we went to it at El Paso. It was really good for us in the first half. We went 8 straight minutes at El Paso, and they never got the ball to the paint one time. So it was really good for us. In the second half, it wasn't so great. Tonight, it was the flip-flop. In the first half, we went to it a little bit, and they hurt us. They really got the ball inside and scored. We made some adjustments at halftime, technically with it, and they really paid off for us in the second half.
Jaquan specifically had a game where you ended up with 24. But I thought in the first half, Vance actually kept them from extending that lead to 8 or 9 or whatever with some free throws, and he didn't end up with a great, what do you have, 9.7 rebounds. Anyway, Vance kind of got going, even though the numbers may not show it. Do you agree with that in the first half especially?
Yeah, I agree, and I thought his rebounding, he hasn't really rebounded great this year. That's been part of my frustration. I think we all know he hasn't really quite got his rhythm yet offensively, but he was such a great rebounder last year, and I think part of that offensive struggles has impacted his rebounding and his defense. But I thought tonight in particular, they're such a good offensive rebounding team. We needed much on the defensive backboard as we could get, and he was really good there.
And Zane didn't play, I don't know if at all in the second half. Is there something to that?
Nothing serious. I think it was just going back and forth in the first half about whether to get him in or not. He's a competitive guy. He wanted to be out there. And then as we got into the second half, I think we just went without him.
And then McQuatch, I think he had 4 fouls all season coming into tonight. Gets in foul trouble for the first time.
Yeah.
Is that something that he was just in a mismatch situation? Or
I think sometimes those things just happen in the flow of the game. Wrong place, wrong time. You pick up one here, you pick up one there. I think we're such a good team at getting the ball inside and getting fouled and getting to the free throw line. I think it's only human nature sometimes to even that out a little bit when you're looking up and it's 10-4 or whatever it happens to be. So I think sometimes we're the victim of a little bit of that. Hopefully it's not a pattern for him we'll deal with going forward.
Coach, from your personal experiences last, is it any sweeter getting a win in this gym?
Oh man, there's probably a lot that one day when I'm old and gray I'll discuss. At the moment, I don't really want to bring myself into this. New Mexico State's a great basketball program. Coach Jans has done, an unbelievable job here. I'm happy for the players. I feel sorry for AJ. I was the first kid I ever recruited here, and I'd love to see him out there in a game like this because he's such a special kid. And hopefully he'll be back for the next one, and we'll continue to have great games like this. We've dropped the ball, or I've dropped the ball the last couple of years as far as not having the type of team the Lobos would expect to have these kinds of games more consistently. So I'll answer that question maybe 30 years from now when Geoff writes a book.
So fans put a lot of pressure on you for this game specifically. How good does it feel to finally have it over with, and especially a win right before Auburn?
Yeah, I get that. It didn't really impact me, and I know that might sound convenient, but I don't coach that way. I coach for today, and all I'm worried about right now is getting ready for Auburn. Getting into a lot of those big picture things is just not something I try and spend a ton of time on. After UTEP, all we talked about was trying to get this game tonight, and all we'll talk about now is getting ready for Auburn. I got doused with water. I'm glad they're happy, and I'm glad a lot of our fans are happy. It has been a tough go here these last couple of years, and we had to go through, unfortunately, a tough couple of years to try and turn our program around, and I'm really hopeful that now we'll be able to kind of keep building, and not just because of this game, even the El Paso game. Just where we're at right now, I feel good about as a program, and we just have to keep building on it to get our program back to where Lobo fans are accustomed to it being.
All right, thank
Coach,
you very much. Appreciate it.
Let's give Will one more.
Okay.
Was this a must-win? Because if you go home with a 2-game losing streak
Yeah.
on this road, did you have to win this game?
I don't know. I'll probably be able to answer that in March. I think along the way, everyone always says, hey, was this the turning point? Was this, was this, that? You don't really know until the next one. We beat Nevada last year, turned around and lost to UNLV 3 days later. You hope it does, but unfortunately, we're only going to be as good as our next one. We have to get ready for Auburn. We have to go to New York on another road trip and go out and compete as best we can.